But Don, after last week, really important to get back to winning ways, and what a way to do it tonight.
Yeah, certainly. Last week was quite a frustrating result for us, but I think it was really important being at Sandy Park that we really set a tone, and especially for where we want to go in our campaign, that we got back onto winning ways.
Last season, the season was built around having a solid home base, and that's exactly what you want to be doing again this year.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, it's all credit to the fans and the atmosphere that's created here, and it makes it a lot easier to pick yourself up for a game. But that being said, it means that when we play the away games like next week, we got to make sure that we stay on our game, and I think that'll be a big test to see how far we've come.
Was there a little bit of hurt hanging over from last week because you got so close to beating back?
Oh, definitely. I think obviously because we've never beaten them away in the Premiership, I think. And I think we have standards we set for ourselves, and we didn't live up to them last week. Put in a lot of hard work, but didn't convert the points. I think this week was a real test to see if we could actually convert the points and not just repeat last week.
This year's performance against London Irish was similar to last year's. You start very strongly. There's a period where you know they're going to come back at you, but again you finish strongly, which was different to this time 12 months ago.
Yeah, I just think it's the nature of the game. You work so hard in making sure that you get a lead, and once you get it, it's quite hard. It's a big test to keep switched on, especially when you've got quite a lead. Like we had 30 points, I think. And credit to them, they always do come back, and that's what you've got to be careful. I think they brought it back close last year, and then this year I think was a good thing to identify early what was happening and then switch back on.
There was a lot of back tries scored, but also some from the forwards tonight as well. And a lot of grunt was needed up front to get those pick and goes and get over the whitewash. That was probably the difference between last week and this week.
Yeah, definitely. I think it was a big test for the forwards, especially to convert in those areas that we need to convert in, that we didn't happen to do last week. We got held up quite a few times, and our mauls weren't that good. Whereas this week, I think we put in some good performances. But we can't really rest on our laurels. We've got to make sure we step it up even further next week. And just keep the forwards game going strong, so the backs can basically do what they do because of the work that we put in.
I was going to say the relentlessness of the season. Everyone's got to play their part, but at the same time you all want to keep hold of your jersey, and the competition for places is red hot there.
Yeah, definitely. You always want to be in a team that there's competition, because as soon as you get complacent, you can kind of drop in performance. So it's a really good environment to be in, and if you don't want to be in an environment where there's people pushing you constantly, then you'll soon be figured out. And I think that you can see on the field the results that we're getting, or the way the guys are playing, because there is the competitive environment. I think it's brilliant. You know, if someone's having a bad game and there's someone that's pushing, then he must get his just rewards, and the same goes if it happens to be the other way around. So there's nothing wrong with the competitive environment. We just keep pushing through as long as it happens throughout the season.
Newcastle away next week. It was a game probably, when we look back from last season, was one that got away from us and one that probably hurt us come the end of the season. Yeah,
I mean, it is. You always got to be careful of the underdog. That putting that thing on them last year, I think because of where they were on the table, it was seen as that kind of thing. And I think it's something we got to be careful of this year, to be complacent. I think that's where we came short in a few games. But you also don't want to look in the past the whole time. So it is a new year, a new competition. We're a new team. And you want to be looking forward rather than backwards. So when we go out there, it's a fresh mindset, maybe looking at how we went this week and continuing that instead of how we went against them last year, and trying not to do that, because it can always come back to bite you if you focus on the wrong thing. So yeah, I think we must just go in with the right mindset.
Enjoy tonight.
Thanks very much. Cheers, bye.